Welcome back to Eliances Heroes, where heroes in business align. To be part of our super community and find out more about Eliances, visit www.Eliances.com. Now, back to our super host, David Kogan, founder of Eliances.
So what'd you all think of the last segment? I mean, we had George Foreman on, the former heavyweight championship boxer. Later on, we're going to have the CEO of Consumer Cellular, $1 billion in revenue. And we'll be ending the show with the celebrity author, Jack Canfield. Make sure you go to Eliances.com. That's Eliances.com. All right, our next hero. It's all about real estate, and they are everywhere. We have Ashley Bowers, the president of Homesmart International, and you could reach her at Homesmart.com. Ashley, like, you guys are opening offices all over. Tell us the latest and greatest of what's going on.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for having me. Last week, we actually acquired a brokerage in Maryland, which gives us 3 new states. So we're now in Maryland, Virginia, and DC. We acquired over 650 agents to our family, and so it was a whirlwind of a week. But we've been super excited. We've had a great response so far, and there's a lot more to come in 2020.
Tell us about how you put all these systems, though, to have them, all into one system and all working together so people know what's going on.
Well, Homesmart is really a technology company first. So we have proprietary technology that allows all of our brokers and agents across the country to work together seamlessly. We actually centralize a lot of our operation here in Scottsdale, and that allows us to keep tabs on every aspect that's going on with the organization, allows us to scale, and allows us to put a lot more money back in the pockets of our agents because we have the ability to be efficient within the organization.
Talk about in regards to what Homesmart is, because there may be some people out there that don't know.
Sure. Homesmart is a franchisor, so we franchise real estate brokerages across the country. We are corporate owned in 5 different locations. So we have Arizona, Palm Springs, California, Denver, Colorado, Florida, and then the MVD, Maryland, Virginia, and DC that we just acquired last week. But we also have title, mortgage, home warranty. So it's really end-to-end solution for consumers and real estate agents alike.
What have you seen as far as those that have been most successful on the franchisee end? What do they possess?
The entrepreneurial spirit. A lot of times people will not necessarily franchise if they're entrepreneurs because they're looking for that business in the box. They want a taste of that business ownership, but not maybe starting off with a brand new idea. With the Homesmart model, they have a lot of freedom. And so we find that they're very entrepreneurial. They want to do something different. They want to be change agents within the industry. And those ones really create that recipe for success within their brokerage.
And again, we've got Ashley Bowers, president of Homesmart International. You could reach her at Homesmart.com because you're listening to me, David Kogan, host of the Eliances Hero Show. Make sure you go to Eliances.com. That's Eliances.com, the only place where entrepreneurs align. Ashley, you have a huge job there and a lot of responsibility. How did that come to be?
Yes. Well, my background actually is not in real estate. It's in organizational development and psychology and assessments. Okay. And so I spent 17 years in that, and that's how I was introduced to Matt Widows, our CEO and founder. He was looking for a chief operating officer in late 2013, and I was helping him source candidates and reviewing candidates to see if they'd be a match. Throughout that process, we decided that maybe I should be his chief operating officer. He's all about culture, and he wanted me to come in and really transform the culture to be a place where people come to work, they have fun, they work hard, but ultimately they're making an impact every day. And so November of 2013, stepped into that role, and here we are today.
And real estate is so hot now. Everybody wants to get into it.
Yeah.
What's your crystal ball say? I mean, you've got a pulse on what's going on. You've got how many offices again?
We have 163.
163 offices and tons of agents. I mean, you couldn't even, how many, do you know how many agents off here?
We're right at 18,000.
18,000 agents. What do you see as the outlook with forecast?
Yeah, I think real estate is always going to be somewhat of a relationship business. For most people, it is the largest investment and the most emotional investment they ever make in their lifetime. And people want to do that with guidance. You also don't make that investment on a regular basis. You're making it once every 7 to 10 years. So it's not something you become an expert in typically on your own. So I think that there's going to be that piece of it. I do think that consumers are going to continue to request more information and be more educated about the process and what they're looking for. So I think the landscape's going to change, which positions us really well. Because we do put more of that money back into the agent's pocket. We are a flat fee model where we're not taking a percentage of their commission. And so it allows them to be an entrepreneur in their own right and really create their own business. As far as in the next, year to 2 years, NAR, the National Association of Realtors, is predicting a couple 100,000 more transactions in 2020 than what we had in 2019. Here in Phoenix locally, we're up about 10% on our transaction sides. So we see next year being really healthy. We're going to see more and more investors come into the market getting ready for if there ends up being a downturn in 2021, 2022. We think it's going to be more of a correction and not necessarily a downturn, definitely not the numbers that we saw in 2008.
Tell us the magic of what you've learned, because again, your background isn't necessarily within real estate, and again, now you're over a ton of offices, a lot of activity going on, tons of agents in that. What that's all been like?
It's been an amazing ride. We've had, when I started, we were less than 7,000 agents. We had 55 employees. So we are approaching 200 employees and obviously, 18,000 agents. So it's been a lot of growth personally, professionally, and for the entire team. The industry wants to see other people succeed. Entrepreneurs do tend to help other entrepreneurs. It's part of who we are. And so the industry really wants to help kind of bring people in and have them learn the business. But it's definitely one that if you don't learn what you're talking about, they're ready to have that conversation with you as well. So it's every day is new, and there's a different topic that we can learn about. iBuyers has been a big thing recently, and so we're kind of really getting into the research and never just resting on what you think you know or any of your laurels whatsoever.
Having grown the internal team to be able to support so many franchisees, that in itself is a big task to do. How do you go about hiring the best to be able to support so many franchisees? And what's this thing I keep hearing about, messy strategy?
So having the assessment background, we definitely utilize, kind of where I came from. I started in the assessment business when I was just 17 years old.
Wow.
As a receptionist.
Wow.
So kind of going through that whole process, it's been amazing to take those 17 years and actually apply it to running a full-fledged business. We work really hard on making sure that our employees are referring other employees to work at Homesmart. And so we focus on employee net promoter score and looking at, where we want to be. We want to be best in class. We want to continue to raise the bar with that and to allow our employees to basically set the culture of the organization. And that's what we've gotten to today. If there's somebody that comes in that's not quite the right fit, because you don't get it right 100% of the time, regardless of your process, right. They'll definitely help that person make a decision to exit. The messy strategy piece is really upside down strategic planning. So we start with employee feedback based on the net promoter, and we'll typically have 160 to 200 pages of feedback from all of our employees. As a leadership team, we spend multiple days reading through every single sentence. And we figure out stop, start, and continues for our organization and how we can move the organization forward. And then we feed that back to the employees. So they know that when they're putting information in there, it's taken seriously. We're not trying to figure out who said what. There's no repercussions or anything like that. And it's silly, but sometimes it's as simple as 2 years ago, there was a complaint about microwaves. And people are like, I can't make my lunch fast enough, and I'm not able to do the things I need to do. That's like a $600 fix. But would we have ever even heard that information if we weren't going through the process of actually listening to our employees and soliciting feedback? And so from there, we go about our strategic plan, and then we set our goals. Unlike the typical process where a CEO will come in and say, grow by 20%, do this. And then you have to figure out how to get there. We figure out what needs to be done first, and then we can actually set higher goals than what we would have come up with the other way around.
Now, you said you started at 17 years old?
My previous role,
okay.
Yes, I did.
So what would you go ahead and tell now people and children that are 16 to 18 years old, because you got your start, look where you are now, the path that you've taken to get there. What type of secrets would you share with them?
Yeah, as a 17-year-old, I was just like many. I thought I knew everything and had all the answers. I was very typical. And so I actually think that that's good. So it's kind of opposite, right? And even as a parent, I say that we have to go through our own growth pattern. And as much as parents and as leaders, we would love for people who look up to us to learn from our mistakes. they need to make some of their own mistakes. And that's okay. You hope that they're not life-altering of any type. But you really want them to go through that process, keep learning, figure out what you're really passionate about. What's that thing that wakes you up in the middle of the night that you're so excited about, and drive towards that. There's really not that right or wrong answer. Just kind of live it for each day, and just keep driving forward and don't give up.
Well, Ashley, you help entrepreneurs be successful in real estate while helping families and individuals find their place to call home. That's a hero. Ashley Bowers, president of Homesmart International. You can reach her at Homesmart.com. This has been David Kogan with Eliances, and when we return, the CEO of Consumer Cellular, a $1 billion revenue company.